Hello, my name is Kyle Seti, and yeah, this is a milestone 2 for my Lizzie Borden house Fallout level build. Um, so yeah, my goals for this week were to finish the house structure, begin working on the door mechanics, making sure players could open up and shut doors, and do my first staging pass of putting the furniture in and stuff. Um, yeah, we got to part of that goal this week, but yeah, a few setbacks with the creation engine have caused me to take a little longer than my intended plan. But yep, that was part of the process here of learning this new engine. So um, instead of showing a time lapse of my work this week, I'm just going to log in and show where I'm at. A lot of my work was undone and redone, staging the house because of some of the setbacks I hit. So, anyways, yep, here's where my house is at currently. Got the full first floor pretty much done. So I've got this porch that you can walk up to, and then yeah, the first floor layout is complete. Um, yeah, this took longer than expected again because one of the setbacks I had was understanding how the placement tools work in Creation Engine, in particular rotation. Um, I found that when I was placing a lot of the pieces into the world, they were at different angles, and when I would try and rotate them to snap into place, they were not aligning properly, and they were off at really weird angles. I couldn't get them to snap right. So it involved undoing the snap tool, editing the preferences so that when I rotated objects, they would rotate at a much finer degree so I could get them to line up right, and then locking them back into the grid so that when I did turn them from then on, they would rotate properly and snap up. Um, a lot of trial and error, just learning, that process this week, placing and getting the things to align as they should, obviously, with the kit that's intended in the creation engine. Um, yeah. So another issue I ran into was half of the pieces that I was using for some reason didn't have collision. I'll show you over here. There's another area I was working on. Um, I just have a staging area over here where I'm piecing and practicing with the house parts. Um, and instead of placing each individual piece by piece to build up rooms, that's how I started actually, and was building the house that way, and it was very, very slow. I found these sort of prefabbed corner pieces and room pieces that you could just slot together like Legos and build your house out of. So clearly that's the intended way to build houses in this game, and I wanted to figure out how that worked. So I sort of restarted using these prefab parts and pieces to put a house together. And then weirdly, I found that some of the parts weren't working properly. I'll show you here. When I go over to the staging area, um, I built up my whole house ground floor, and then when I walked up to it, um, I walked over here and fell right through. Yeah, this entire section doesn't have any collision, whereas this section does. And they're very similar pieces. They're right next to each other in the kit, so I'm not sure why I'm having that issue. Spent a couple hours troubleshooting this, trying to figure out if I could give these parts the proper collision that they were missing, and why the mesh was not there. Um, in the end, so far right now, I'm just continuing with the parts that I figured out do have collision. So I used this piece, and I didn't use this part over here. I ended up just placing in my own windows and my own wall sections to finish out the house. But um, yeah, it's very strange. I'm still figuring out why some of these parts have collision and some of them do not. Um, so I'll just take you through the house as is, using some of those parts as well as some of my own custom placed pieces by hand, like these railings and this staircase. Yeah, we have these room parts that are placed together to create the floor foundation. Then we sort of filled out the wall pieces ourselves with parts that we wanted. Because of the way the stairwell works, I have not figured out how to mirror or flip an asset. Technically, the stairs should be on this side of the house when you walk in to Lizzie Borden's house. However, all of the stair assets are set up to be on this side of the house. So far, again, after doing a lot of research, it seems like there's no way to flip an asset in a creation kit, which is very weird to me. It seems like a standard thing you should be able to do is just mirror something horizontally or vertically. But yeah, no way to mirror the objects here, so I'm forced to rethink my paper map a little bit. Um, but that's fine. We're just going to flip the orientation of the house and put the stairs on that side. So things seem to be working now. Trial and error, figuring out which pieces are going to work for my build and not, and then adjusting things. So the next goal is to finish the second floor foundation and then begin my staging pass that I was going to do this week. And doors, yeah, I have not figured those out yet. That's gonna have to be pushed back to another week as well because I found the door holes. But after doing a little bit of research, it seems that doors are a little complicated in Creation Engine. It's not just a plug and play part that you put in and it works. So we're gonna have to figure that out as well. But yeah, that's it. Happy to answer your questions and see how you guys are all doing too.